Welcome back to Hotter Ones. I'm your host, Ashley Matheson, and today we have Miss Erika here with us. Erika,
hi.
say hi. How's it going?
So good. So excited.
What was your morning looking like? Did you think you'd be here?
I knew I was coming here.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited. I just got some dialogue.
Oh, right on.
Some espresso.
Getting right into it. Where are you from? What was it like growing up? All that fun stuff.
I'm from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up was really normal and calm.
Mm-hmm.
From like a really small part of Tampa, like outside of Tampa.
Yeah.
Went to high school for like the first 2 years, and then I was homeschooled for the last 2 years. Just for like, not really like bullying or anything like that, but more so just like me being distracted.
Yeah, for sure.
By like friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom figured like homeschooling me would keep me isolated and focused on school. But
for sure. Did you have a job while you were out in Florida?
I did. I worked at a sushi restaurant when I was 18. I was like a little hostess.
How was that?
It was good. It was very like hard because like they're just very hard on you.
Yeah, that was my first job as well. I hated it.
Yeah, I liked it just because I like everyone loved me because it was so nice. But like the servers and everything were just, they'd take advantage of you. Like no tomorrow. Like serving, but then you don't get the tips because they go to them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But then I worked at Rooms to Go. It's like this furniture store. I did finance. It was like this sketchy third-party finance company.
We love a sketchy moment.
Yeah, I did that for 2 years. I worked myself up to like a manager position.
Oh, good for you.
Hated it though. Like absolutely hated it.
So when did you make the move out here?
I did like TikTok for a while in Florida, and then I would come and visit sometimes. And I was spending so much on like Airbnbs and hotels that I was like, I'm just gonna get like an apartment, and I'm not gonna live out here though. And then I got my apartment and immediately moved everything in and moved my cats from Florida.
That's like, exactly what I said. I'm from Canada, and I originally would like come down here for a couple months at a time. I'd always plan for like a week, and then you end up staying for a month. Yeah. And then I like really started to miss my cats a lot. And once they were down here, there was no turning
they were like
back.
the only reason why I would go back.
Literally.
I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to see my cats. And I was like, actually, let me just fly them from Florida.
How were they on the plane?
I had someone fly them out.
Oh.
It was like my mom's friend. She flew from Florida to bring them out, but yeah, apparently they were fine.
Yeah, cat, one of my cats was perfect. The other cat, you know, when they do that really like repetitive, deep, like ow. Yeah, I felt so bad. He was worse than he was more misbehaved than every single child that was on the plane.
Really?
It was so embarrassing. But
I know, and there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, I'm like,
shut up.
I'm like syringing gabapentin into their mouth, like shh, go to sleep. Right on. So you brought up a little bit about TikTok. When did you start getting into TikTok?
Well, when I was working at Rooms to Go, I would come home at night. I would work from like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. like every day, and I would do my makeup and like get cute and film TikToks and then go to sleep. And that's basically what happened. Like I filmed a mirror video at night and then just like went to sleep after I posted it and woke up to like 50,000 views. And I was like, oh shit, like this is actually like a thing. And throughout the day it was getting like more and more. But I was filming TikToks for like years before that when it was like musically and stuff, just like for fun. And then I got really lucky.
Started gaining some traction.
Yeah, and then from then on it was just like super consistent. And
would you say you had like a specific TikTok or moment in your TikTok career that you realized like, oh shit, like I got some followers now, this is actually like people are watching me, there's a lot of people here? Yeah,
when I hit 1 million views on that video, I was like 50,000 people is like whatever, but like at the same time it's like if you imagine 50,000 people in a room.
Oh my god, I know.
Even like 5,000 people or 1,000 people, but I think when it hit like 1 million I was like whoa. And then like the next video would be like 1 point something million, and then it was like, and then I filmed with Emilia, and we got 40 million views on a video. And that's when I was like, this is like numbers that like I can't even fathom.
Yeah,
like
for
40 million people on this Jack Harlow video. It was insane.
Yeah. So at what point did you realize like I have a lot of people on my TikTok, maybe I should start an OnlyFans?
I was doing OnlyFans while I was working at Rooms to Go the whole time.
Doing all that?
Yeah, it was all like I kind of like did it all myself and realized like, okay, well from Instagram, well from TikTok I can have them go to my Instagram, and then from Instagram obviously it's like the first thing men check is if you have an OnLink
link in bio.
Yeah. So I was like filtering it that way for myself for a while. I was making like $500 a month, but for me, like
That's still, yeah.
that was like 2 weeks of pay for me at my normal job. So
extra walk around money.
Yeah. And then that video blew up, and I made like what I made in a year in like 2 days. And I was like, this is disgusting. Like I found like a GTA cheat code.
Literally.
Yeah.
I always did you ever play The Sims growing up?
Yes.
You know how if you typed into like the search bar ka-ching, it would like make them have $100,000.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there and I would hit it and hit it. And then I would decorate the house and like make them all cunty.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, every now and then I'm like,
you're living
around.
that
I'm
now.
like, oh my God, I'm the Sim.
Yeah. It's like you were manifesting it.
So what made you decide to go into doing OnlyFans while you had your other job? What was like the moment that you were like, oh shit, I should probably do this?
I had like a few people tell me, like friends that I used to go to high school with and stuff, tell me that I should make one and I would do really good. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to be like naked on the internet. Like my mom would kill me. You know what I mean? And then I just did it because it was during COVID. COVID hit and I got laid off from my job. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to make this account. And then it did so well that I was like, well enough for me to get by. And that was good enough for me. So. Yeah.
How do you think that version of you would react to what you're doing now on the platform?
Oh, they wouldn't even like I think about that all the time. Like I think about I see like all these little TikToks that come up, like think about like what your small like younger self would have like thought of you, and I like it's just unfathomable.
Oh, I know.
I'm literally living out every like little journal entry that I would write when I was younger. Besides the like being naked on the internet part.
Well, good. I mean, it's not the worst thing you could do. I've seen a lot of bad stuff on the internet.
Right.
Showing a little ta-ta, giving them a little shimmy.
Capitalizing off my
Literally.
titties.
Like, if people are gonna like fetishize and like make you sexualized all day for free, might as well
make money off of it.
I'm like, it's not hard. So how long have you been living in LA?
About 7 months.
About 7 months.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
And what is your like day-to-day life like out here?
I usually wake up, get ready for the day, and then lay in bed, and then I end up like filming TikToks here and there. But I don't usually leave my house.
You're homebody?
In my apartment.
I'm very similar. I don't like you're not a big partier.
When I first moved to LA, I was going out every single night because coming from Tampa, like people only go out on the weekends, but in LA there's literally always some crazy shit happening every day. So I was trying to like navigate what I liked and what I didn't like, and for the first couple of months I was going out every single night, and it was just and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, like I gotta get my shit together.
Where were you constantly going out at? Like
just any club that was like Hyde and like Poppy and Melrose Place.
Like, every single time I've been to Poppy, I've had a panic attack, and not because I'm like too high or too drunk, just because I'm like, I can't breathe, and there's so many wet people on me. Like everybody around me is wet, and they're touching me with their sweat, and it smells really bad. And like your friend is like 4 heads that way, and you're like,
this like isn't a good time.
Please.
Yeah.
Something about dark with flashing lights and loud noises.
Crowded with people. Yeah. I would have to be like borderline blackout to go out, and that was like the problem, is I would wake up like feeling like shit.
I like when I was younger, I could drink, and like I think of when I used to go to festivals, and like I could drink and then wake up the next day and drink and then go out and like do all that. When I drink now, I feel like I'm enabled for a week. Like my hangover, like I went to AVN this weekend, and I feel like I'm still hungover from that. Like I woke up this morning and I was like
the shakes.
Literally. And I just get such bad anxiety because
me too.
Your girl, when she's drunk, it's not cute.
The decisions.
Anyways, do you do a lot of travel? Are you constantly at home?
Usually I just go from Florida to LA, but I just got back from Tulum, which was cool.
I just saw that. How was that?
It was interesting. It was very different. I felt very vulnerable.
Were you one of the only girls that was there?
No, my sister came with me, and then my sister also came, but it was, other than that, it was all of our like guy friends, and they get pretty crazy, so
as most things with penises do.
It was fun though.
And besides Tulum, have you like traveled anywhere else in your life?
I mean, within the States, yeah. And then I went on like a cruise and went to Haiti and
Oh, cool.
yeah, Dominican Republic and stuff, which was cool, but I don't think I'll ever do a cruise again.
No, I get motion sickness. I feel like a cruise would be horrible. Do you plan on doing any travel in your future?
I want to, yeah.
Right?
Especially like going out of the country for the first, like flying out of the country to Mexico. It like definitely inspired me to want to.
Yeah. It's
like,
not as hard.
I can do this.
Yeah. Like I know the first like time you do it, you're like, fuck. Like something's going to go wrong. My passport isn't going to be right. Like,
no, that's exactly what happened. My passport had 2 S's. My last name is Calabrese, and it was 2 S's on my passport. While we were at the airport, I found out that I had 2 S's on my last name on my passport, and I was like, I'm gonna get locked into a Mexican prison. Like, I'm not gonna be able to come back. So I had to change like my flight information to like match my passport. It was absolutely insane.
Who's responsible for messing typo? Who puts a typo on a passport?
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like a passport might be something you want to double check.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That would make me mad.
Yeah.
I kind of had a little bit of an issue when I was flying back from Vegas. On my ticket, it was my boyfriend's birthday, and on his ticket, it was my birthday. And they were like, like, we can't let you through TSA. So we had to go down. And I was like, please just change them. Like, look, these are our birthdays.
Yeah.
We are right here. It was just a typo. That you can make a typo on it.
Right, but like a
passport, that would make
government document. Like,
yeah. So
crazy.
if you could travel anywhere, where's like your dream spot?
Italy.
Anywhere around there. Like, I feel like if you go to Italy though, you can't just do Italy. You got to go like Italy, France, London, all that. I love Europe. Europe is a really cool place. I've been. I was with the person I was in a relationship with before my boyfriend. He was on a tour and we were together, and it was just convenient for me. I brought my sister along. Kind of ditched each other halfway through. That relationship fizzled out. But going around from like kind of city to city within London, or not London, within Europe is so easy because everything's like, they're like the size of like North or America, but it's like states. So it's like traveling from state to state, right? It's not that hard. Like they're all pretty small. The countries aren't big. It's not like Canada and US. It's like all of Europe. You could fit into like Canada.
That was so bad.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. What is your relationship sex life like since moving out here?
It's really non-existent, but it is though. I was in a relationship for 2 years, got out of that, and that's pretty much why I moved to LA. Just to like get out of that whole situation.
Not a good relationship.
It was good until it wasn't. I was cheated on and taken advantage of and all that good stuff. So it was bad, but now I'm kind of just living my life. You're
definitely on your independent, like, girl boss stuff. Yeah, I can tell you that.
I'm trying. I've never been, like, alone. I was in, like, an 8-year relationship before the 2-year relationship. So I've, like, never experienced life without someone. So that was, like, really... And it was also, like... That's why it was so hard for me to move to LA, because I was like, what the hell do I even do? Like, I'm by myself. It's so quiet. Like, I'm just not... I wasn't used to it. But now I love it. I love being alone. And
I feel like when you are constantly in relationships, and I've been in relationships, I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I can't go more than like a certain amount of time. I just get so lonely. But when you aren't in those relationships, I feel like that's when I'm on my grind stuff. Like, I get the most stuff done. I do the most for myself.
Yeah.
And like, I feel independent. But there is that kind of like, you miss having somebody to like even just touch, like not even a sexual way, but like every now and then, like
just want to be held.
Like, you want to be vulnerable with somebody.
Yeah, I'm definitely a relationship girl. I'm not like a hookup one night stand girl.
If you were to get into a relationship, what's something that you look for in a partner?
Someone that obviously supports what I do and doesn't ever like throw it back in my face or anything like that. Someone that also is doing something for themselves, not someone that's lazy or insecure. Definitely not insecure.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like, to be as successful as you, somebody also has to have some sort of sense of their own independence, because it's easy to get into a relationship with somebody who's really successful and be like, they're successful enough for the two of us, I'm just not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah, because like this shit is obviously not like seen everywhere, you know, and I'm also understanding of that. Like, you don't have to make more than me or as much as me. I obviously got really lucky in a sense, so like I'm not expecting you to come in and make $21 million a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think someone that's just like secure within themselves and passionate and nice,
for sure,
not abusive. Or
I'm like basic standards.
Yeah, literally.
It's so bad, but I feel like nowadays that's not even basic. Like people with relationships, the way that they have developed into like the fact that there's a term for not being in a relationship but seeing somebody, like the situationship.
Oh, I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Oh my god, I've been
you're either with someone or you're fucking
yeah
not.
I've been in one situationship in my entire life and it was horrible. It was the most mentally ill I think I've ever felt. Like I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I couldn't say anything, and then I felt like I had no respect for myself because every time they'd be like, oh, do you want to hang out, I'd be like,
yeah, absolutely.
so badly. That's all I've been wanting you to text me this all
like
week.
Good enough for them to be like, to ask you to be like their girlfriend, but like you're good enough for them to fuck you and then like still
it's
do
like our
everything in a
morals
relationship.
just went
Yeah,
I feel like there's an ongoing convo within your TikToks about you wanting somebody to be 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Is that like a deal breaker?
No, I mean, not entirely. Obviously, like, I mean, it worked for like the first few hundred of the videos that I made. But I obviously, like, I want someone that can protect me. I don't want you to be like a few inches taller than me. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? But I definitely do gravitate more toward men that are
that's so funny that you say that.
Crazy height.
I like grew up obviously very tall. Like I've been this height since I was 14 years old. I rocketed. Like I hit puberty this way before I hit it that way. And that way didn't come till I was like 16.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. So I grew up being taller than every person in my grade and all that stuff. And I just ended up having attraction for men that are smaller than me and women that are smaller than me because it was so hard to find somebody that there was like 2 people in my entire grade that were taller than me.
Right. So
and I was
like evolved to just
and now it's so funny, like when I see men I'm like, oh, you're like really big and scary. Like I feel like I need to have like even fighting ground. Like if we were to go feral and break out into a fight, I need to be able to like not have to reach up. I need to hit it that way. But so your type isn't 6 feet, but it is.
But it is
taller. But it is. It's not, but it is.
It's not a deal breaker.
So, do you prefer, since moving out here, do you prefer LA over Florida?
At this point, yeah, just because I feel like I'm finding myself more, and it's just easier for me to like work and find opportunities. But Florida, it's more calm. I like it for different reasons. Yeah, but right now I definitely prefer LA over Florida. Now when I go back to Florida, because I've grown so much being out here, I'm like, what do I even do? Like
that's one thing about LA is like you can never run out of stuff to do here. There's always something, and it's not even just partying. It's like one day you could go to the beach, the next day you could go skiing.
Exactly.
You could go to the movies. You could go to 8 different movie theaters all within like the same 10-mile radius. I'm from Canada, like a small town middle of Canada where there was like one hockey arena and one bar in our little town.
That's the same thing with me, yeah.
And after moving out here, I used to always tell myself like, oh, I'm just coming out to visit. But once you start finding yourself out here and having friends and like kind of making a name for yourself, it's so fun out here. There are some red flags about LA. Like some of the people out here are really out to get you, I feel like.
Definitely. They're all opportunists.
Yeah, there's a lot of masked face, I feel like, but at the end of the day, once you like have your set little squad, it's not like I have a giant friend group. I'm like, you're looking at them. But it's enough to make me feel like I have a future out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you did make a little comment, and I kind of want to get into it, about your earnings. So your earnings on OnlyFans are insane.
They're pretty good, yeah.
They're pretty good. So what is like the most expensive thing you bought yourself since making all this money?
I feel like I've bought other people things that are more expensive than myself. Myself, I feel like maybe my Chanel bag. I bought like a Chanel. No, probably like my watch. I bought myself an AP. Yeah, it was like.
I'm like, I don't want to show what watch I'm wearing.
I mean, it depends. Like I bought cars and stuff too. So I bought a Tesla. It got flooded from the hurricane in Florida, but it was like 150,000. That's probably like the most.
Yeah, that was like I got a G-Wagon, and that's like the only big thing I've ever purchased, and it's like that happened 6 months ago, and I'm still like, I can't believe I spent that much on a car. Like,
I know,
because I feel like growing up, it's not like I didn't have money. Like, my parents were fine. We were very middle class. But now, being in the position I am now, I like always have it in the back of my head where I'm like, I feel like at any moment, like I could ruin this all if I just spend a little too much. But then I was the opposite. Yeah, end up spending nothing, and then I'm like, oh gosh, and then I just invest it back into the career.
Yeah, no, that's like the best way to do it. I was really dumb when I first started making money because I do not come from a place of money at all. I was raised by a single mom, and I have 2 twin sisters. So it was like all girls, and she was in school, and like it was not anywhere near middle class at all. But so I feel like that's why I was like going crazy at first, because I was like, it's like a video game. Like, I've never touched this much money ever. So I'm going to go crazy. And then I like found out about taxes and stuff. And I was like, okay, let me like actually calm the fuck down.
Literally the first, I mean, thank gosh, it wasn't the year I started my OnlyFans that I realized like taxes. But when I first started social media, I remember my first year of it, I made like 150,000 and I spent 140,000, and then taxes came up. And they were like, I'm in Canada. They're like, you owe 54% of your earnings. And I was like, what? Like, what the crap? And thankfully, I was like kind of playing catch up with my taxes, where like every time I'd get money, I'd like put a bit to the taxes, and then I'd keep a bit for myself. But once I started OnlyFans, I got to pay off my taxes. And now I'm like, I don't even want to know how much I owe for taxes.
That's what
this
I'm
year.
saying. I'm like, taxes don't exist. I don't know what taxes
I'm like, it is coming up though, and it's definitely, it keeps me up at night, like stuff like that. And it's like, we're in positions where we shouldn't be kept up at night thinking about money issues, but it is like, I feel like I'm just a little girl. I don't know anything. I don't know how to navigate any of that stuff. I hire people to do it for me, and I just pray that they're doing it right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just came out with a spicy calendar.
I did. The Erika calendar.
And whose idea was that? Was that something you always wanted to do, or?
It came up in conversation before, because my Instagram handle is Erika Cal, and like the calendar. And then my manager said that he said it like months ago, and I was like, yeah, no, you definitely are not stealing that idea. But it made sense. And then we worked on it for like, I don't know, like 6 months, something like that. My assistant shot like the whole thing. Yeah, it was really good.
I'm like, what's the July month look like? That's my month, my birth month.
Really? It was me on this like set with like this old car and this big American flag in like this blue lingerie, and we had like a fan, so my hair was like blowing.
That's so cool.
It was really cute. I'll just show you. I'll bring you on.
I remember because I follow Dice, and I follow you on Instagram, so there's a lot, like Dice posts a lot of your like behind the scenes type stuff, and I was kind of keeping up with it, and I remember being like, damn it, that's such a good idea. It's like, you know how like Playboy and stuff like that makes calendars, like that is such a good idea. If you catch me making one, don't be mad at me.
No, absolutely not. I think everyone should.
Speaking of calendar, you had blonde hair in some of it, correct? And brown hair in some of it. What's your preference?
I don't know. I feel like I like the dark hair, but everyone on every single social is like, no, go back to blonde. Like, I hate you.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Because blonde, it's like your hair gets killed so quick.
It was like, hey, that's why I went dark, because it was literally so brittle.
And then you have to build it up. But if you want to get your roots touched up, it's just like every time you touch up your roots, whatever you're touching up, that's what's breaking off at the bottom of it. Yeah, I clearly am very indecisive. I wish I could be a full, because I want to be the full blonde, but I'm like, if I do it in the back of my hair too, like I'm already pretty hairless. Like, I don't have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
But I personally like your brown hair. I think it makes your eyes pop. I think it like makes your features like better. Yeah. Where I feel like blonde, like whenever I'm full blonde, I feel like I constantly need to be like super tanned or like super done up, because without it, I just look like pasty and sickly.
Yeah. No, that's definitely how I feel too. But I think I started doing all this with blonde hair, so people like got used to that. So seeing like the dark hair, I think they're just not used to it. So they'll just get over it.
I'm like, yeah, get over it. It looks good. Shut up. All right. What is your like favorite thing about doing OnlyFans, and least favorite thing?
Favorite thing is definitely obviously making money, and then getting like cute outfits for it.
I like growing up used to like go into my mom's room and like sneak into her bra drawer and like steal a bra and then go in front of the mirror and be like,
me too. My mom had massive boobs.
And now I feel like now that we're adults and it's our job, I like get to like kind of live that little fantasy out, and it's so fun like styling for shoots and like never in my life did I think I would have a whole closet full of lingerie. Like,
I know,
but it's like my favorite part. And then you like hand it down to your friends and they're like, oh, I'm like going to this hookup, I don't have anything cute. I'm like, put this on underneath.
That's a good idea.
And what's something that you don't really like about doing this job?
I don't know, like the stigma behind it, like what we were talking about earlier was like, you're obviously just like a big whore. I think that's like my least favorite part, is just like the stereotype of OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate that part of it, but I also am like, keep commenting because your engagement is just boosting me up. Like,
comment a few more times.
Yeah, no, but I think that because of porn, people have this specific idea about like, if you are being a cam girl or if you're doing this, like you're getting fucked by multiple people,
right?
But like the reason I started this podcast and to showcase, don't get me wrong, there are some girls who do porn and there's nothing wrong with that. Like good for you. I wish I had the balls. Like I hope I could get to there one day, but I feel like I kind of want to show people that there are girls who do OnlyFans who, like Emilia for example, she's a virgin. And she probably has thousands of people being like, you're a slut because you do this. Yeah. And it's like,
they have no idea.
It doesn't correlate. So I just wanted to like show people that like we're all normal girls. Our morals aren't over our heads. We are in a time where the internet is like where you should be to make your money. Yep. Like we could have gone to school. We'd still be paying off our student debt and we probably would have a pretty crappy job. Yep. Like it's not like it's not what it used to be, but the internet, like this has caused so many lives to change. And sure, we might be posting our nipples or like giving a little piece of us, but like I feel like most girls still have the same morals.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like we're sex crazed, like oh my god, I need to be fucked all the time. Like we might portray ourselves like that, but that's because men, the men who follow us, that's what they like.
Exactly. Like the same ones that are commenting negative shit are the same ones that are waiting for us to post.
I know.
So I feel like it's like, if that's my biggest problem, honestly, then so be it. Like if men are saying nasty things or being assholes, then whatever.
You're like, I'll just cover my ears with my stacks of money.
Yeah. Exactly.
So for the future, what is your goal with OnlyFans? Like you clearly could retire now if you wanted to, but like, are you going to keep at it for about as long as you could keep up with it?
Yeah, I'm going to keep running with it. And then I think I want to eventually get out of it and do something bigger. Like start my own brand or do something cool.
Just some way to monetize yourself.
Yeah, but it's still just so early into it. I mean, I'm doing it for 2 years now. So I feel like I'll just run with it for as long as I can. And then once it starts depleting, hopefully it never does. But I'll just eventually grow out of it and do something cooler.
No, I feel like that's how a lot of girls look at this. It's like, this is an end goal, but this is like setting up the rest of my life.
Exactly. Like, and other people, like your family's lives.
Yeah, like have you helped your family with like money?
Absolutely.
I just paid off my sister's student debt. And it's just like little things that mean the world to other people in this industry. You're so capable of doing like it's
You're
so
like, oh, you need that?
Yeah.
And you've been waiting 20 years to do that? Oh,
literally. I'm like, oh, you've been in school for the last 8 years and have all this debt here. Like that. And it's nothing. And it's almost like, I feel like paying it forward, like because my family still supports me and all this stuff, because this is a taboo job. I'm not gonna I'll say it how it is. There are more jobs that are more like regulated where people like, there's less stigma behind them. But with this, as long as my family's still loving me, I'm gonna do everything I can to show them
exactly
how much I love them back.
Exactly.
So if you weren't doing OnlyFans, like what do you think you would be doing right now?
I have no idea. I'm probably like still working at the furniture store, like trying to be like district manager instead of just like the store manager. Literally no clue. I have no idea. It's definitely some average 9 to 5. Yeah. Just because this is like moving to LA is what really inspired me. So I wouldn't have had any of like like the mindset that I have now of like I can literally do anything and I don't have to work for like the big man and I can do whatever I want. So I think I would still have that mindset and just be controlled by the average.
When you were growing up, did you ever dream to be something?
Yeah.
What was your dream?
Well, Hannah Montana was my biggest inspiration. So I would put on little like performances for my family, like my mom and my sisters, and I would like play my little guitar. I never wanted to be like a singer or anything, but I knew I wanted to be something
in the spotlight.
Yeah. And then also being little, I feel like I wanted to be like an advocate or like a light for little people with the confidence that I had. So I feel like this was like a good way to like, I don't know if it was the best way to be like what I'm doing what I'm doing now, but I feel like it was.
I think that every single girl who starts her OnlyFans page is just helping break the stigma and normalizing it.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, you've been on it for 2 years. That's about how long I've been on the platform too.
Yeah.
And even a year before I joined it, it was something that like wasn't that known and like a bit taboo. People would be like, you just started OnlyFans. So I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, I see all these new girls joining the platform and like constantly everybody's like, oh, link in bio. And I'm like, I'm so happy that because maybe we were like the earlier girls, we normalized it and allowed all these other people to feel comfortable enough to do it. So it might not be the dream you had, but we are advocating in some way to normalize it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I got one more question for you before we get into the smash or pass. And it is your OnlyFans subscribers. Do you want to talk about them at all? Like what your opinion is on them?
I love all of them and I think they should just keep their subscription forever.
I personally like, do you ever go like live with them or like?
I've never gone live, but maybe I will this year.
Oh my God, you totally should.
Yeah.
Going live with my followers, I feel like is like the reason why I actually don't feel gross anymore about, because it's not like it's not like people are gonna pay you money and then join your live and shit on you.
Right.
People are gonna pay you money, and then I get like really close with a lot of my subscribers from just actually connecting with them face on face, even though it's not like face on face, but like face to their chat. I love them. Keep subscribing. All right, everyone, we are now into one of my favorite parts of the podcast, the Smash or Pass segment, because I am Smashly. And we're going to ask some mild, hot, and spicy questions, just like they do on that Wing show, except for I'm like, you like the little play? I feel like I'm
on there right now.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the OnlyFans version of that. All right. What is your biggest turn off in a person?
Someone too cocky.
Big ego.
Big ego.
I'm like,
immediately no.
There's a time and place for it, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you are kind of egotistical outside of like, I don't know, foreplay or stuff, like I don't mind them having a big ego like during sex.
Oh yeah.
But like outside of that, or like around friends, my biggest pet peeve is when you're like hanging out with a guy and then you go and you meet his friends and you're like, who are you? What? Like, why are you being so mean to me?
Yeah,
I totally feel that. What is like the most common DM you see in your DMs?
They really just want me to like put out a sex tape. They're like waiting for the day.
Would you ever do that?
Yeah,
I think about it all the time. I like film a lot of my own porn and I watch it back and I'm like, I wish people could see this.
Yeah,
I like love the way it looks, but there's like this small part of me that is always like, your kid's in the future.
Yep.
Your dad at his corporate job, and I'm like, oh. But I feel like it's kind of like with men, it works in a way where it's like once they see it all is when they start to lose interest. You know what I mean? Like I've done that before, where it's like you're seeing a guy, you're not dating, you have sex with him, and then everything goes kind of cold and quiet. And that's what my fear is with releasing a sex tape, is that once people see it, they're gonna be like, I saw it, time to move on to the next.
Yep. But no, that's exactly, like, I don't have to do it right now, so that's why I'm like, if all else fails.
Yeah. It's like, I always tell them, it's never a no, it's a maybe.
Yeah.
One day, soon. Do any of your subscribers turn you on in any way?
All of them. I love all of them, actually.
I know it's bad, but I kind of have like a praise kink, if that makes sense. So whenever I go on, I genuinely am like, whew, why am I hot all of a sudden? Like all these people, all these men saying these nice things. Do you have like a subscriber off the top of your head that you think of when you think of your OnlyFans subscribers?
Yeah, it's this guy that's been subscribed since like I started the account, and he's like giving me all of his time and all of his money. So I don't love him for his money. I love him for his time. Yeah,
that's like another thing is like I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just like money crazed. It's like maybe that's how it started and we saw like good reaction from it, but with time, especially like years going by, you're talking to this person all the time. You're like making content for this person. You do build this kind of relationship with them.
It's like what you're used to. Like naturally you
and like you look for them when you go on. I'm like, ooh, somebody's chat. I love that. Anyways, we're getting into hotter. What is one OnlyFans creator you wish you could collab with?
I feel like monetary wise, I have a lot off the top of my head.
But like not monetary wise, like somebody where you're like, oh my God, like I would actually want to like it not on camera or on camera.
I don't know, like Sky or you, maybe Ashley.
No, Sky is, I feel like I've said Sky, I've given Sky as an answer before. She's just like God.
I know.
How I don't get how someone gets proportioned like
all
that.
Natural too.
Definitely like part of me looks at her and is like, oh my God, I'm dripping wet, and the other part looks at me and at her and is like, I hate you. Why are you so perfect?
Just effortless.
I agree with you though. I love her. All right, what is your favorite toy to use on yourself?
There's this one I made like this huge order on Adam and Eve. And I like was testing them out, and then I still go back to this one that I get from CVS. It's called like Plus One or something like that. It's like a little vibrator.
Like one of the bullets?
No, it's like a pink one. It's kind of like
dick
elongated.
Shape. Or is it like that like morph dick shape? Like it doesn't look like a penis.
It doesn't look like a penis.
But it's like the size.
It's like
I think I know what one you're talking about. You know Nema? When her and I were hooking up, we went to CVS and we got one of those. And I still have it to this day.
Really?
I haven't washed it. I'm joking. That would be horrific. What is your kinkiest sexual experience?
Is this where I take my shirt off?
I think you just answered our question.
Sick. Wait, you have to take yours off too?
Well, I'm not going to make you do it alone.
Oh, cute. This is such an interesting, what day is it today? Monday?